Hi everyone, and welcome to the show, the Pink Parley. Today I'd like to give a special shout out to the Open Bar podcast. Remember how I told y'all how I wanted to connect with some other podcasters out here? And these are the first folks that caught my attention. I want to give a special shout out to C4 and Nikki at the Open Bar podcast. I'm looking forward to collaborating with you all. I love what you guys are doing. Nikki, you are a real baddie. Oh, I just love your energy on the show. Really giving that Sag energy, the same energy that I have, because, I'm a Sagittarius too. So I'm definitely feeling that fiery energy that you bring into the podcast. So definitely check them out. I love their show. They are quite entertaining. So yes, as you know, I am your host, Molly, and I'm excited to be with you today for the very first episode of this podcast. Yes, at the Pink Parley, our mission is to bring you real, authentic conversations about the issues that matter most. We're here to create a space for open dialogue and spark meaningful conversation, or like we say here, parlays, with a lighthearted comedic twist. This episode, I'm going to tell you a bit about myself and how the Pink Parley got started. Then I'm going to talk about why you shouldn't mess with weird bitches. So stay tuned as we get this party started and sip your drink with me or roll up the smoke with me. And if you gotta live sober, then just listen to this realness I'm finna give y'all, okay? Growing up, I've been through a lot of difficult times and know what it's like to feel like there's no end in sight. I've dealt with neglect, domestic violence, sexual abuse, foster care, dealing with DCFS, sex work, etc. You name it, I've been through it. And I don't say this to make anyone feel sorry for me, because with all I've been through, it's made me an unstoppable woman I am today. But despite all these hardships, I never lost faith and managed to build a positive mindset. I believe that because of this outlook, I can share my story with you all today. In addition to this, I decided to create something positive out of these experiences, which the Pink Parley was born. Originally, this show was supposed to include my best friend, but my best friend and I didn't have the same level of positivity, and she wanted to abandon the project. In fact, because of this, we are not friends anymore, because I realized how she lacks spirituality, and I don't need anything dark and demented stopping me from my shine and my blessings. Okay, hallelujah.
Amen to that shit.
However, I held strong to my vision and have been able to make something positive out of my experiences. I wanted to create a podcast that would provide support for those going through similar hardships. The Pink Parley is a place where people can turn when they need help in overcoming abuse or neglect, or generally improving your quality of life. I love to keep a positive attitude and all, but when I have something to get off my chest, baby, I gotta do it. I just can't help it. This is Sagittarius in me. But I have to get some things off my chest because, y'all, bitches was trying to play with the parlay, y'all. So this show was supposed to include another co-host, but unfortunately, as y'all can see, she's not here. And let me tell y'all the weird shit she did. About a month ago, I got the idea of creating this podcast with my friend. She had just got out of a controlling relationship. I had just moved back to LA, and it was our first time. I was so excited to be united with my bitch again, right? Seemed like everybody else was excited too. Her simple IG post of us together doing cheers or whatnot had people happy as fuck, right? So me being innovative, I figured, why not start a show? We are both funny, and I feel that we both bring something innovative to the table and a true uniqueness I feel this world needs. As soon as I hit her with the idea, she was excited too. And since she had an empty room in her apartment, we could set everything up right there. So now we have our space for our show, and immediately I knew we needed a name first so I can get to work and doing what I do, you feel me? We ended up going out that night, and I honestly was disappointed by my friend's outlandish behavior, trying to fight any and everybody for no reason, but more so talking and no fighting. Like,
what
girl,
name
shut
are you
up, we gonna fight, you feel me? That's how I am. I ain't gonna hold her though, she just got out of a heartbreak and maybe a little intoxicated, but I was sad to see all the fake love she had around her. It just seemed like everybody that was around her was just smiling in her face, but really was trying to set her up and try to have bitches fight her. I don't know, the shit was just weird, you know what I'm saying? I felt like she was like a joke in a sense, I was honestly embarrassed to be around her. I couldn't help but to think what the fuck happened? Damn. And who the fuck you been hanging with? Because things wasn't even like this when we used to hang out. But still, I'm having this podcast idea on my mind, thinking of a remedy for my friend, thinking of building generational wealth with this. The opportunities just seem endless. All I couldn't wait to do was to leave that dry ass club, that overcrowded ass section, and sit down and come up with a name for our business. That night, after a few drinks and jotting down a long list of names, we narrowed it down to the Parlay. But I felt I wanted to add a more catchy and feminine flair. So then I came up with the Pussy Parlay.
Oh, really?
You feel me? Because I play too much, but you feel me? It was catchy, but I was like, nah. So then I was like, the Pink Parley. Me and my friend nodded in unison, and there you have it. The Pink Parley was born. I didn't play when it came to the parlay. Like, I immediately started getting all paperwork done, making all social media accounts, learn how to start a podcast, and binge watch YouTube videos, learning everything I could about this game. Did my friends share the same interests I did? No, but I figured I can change her. I used to be depressed like her. I can send her motivational videos, make her say affirmations, etc. I felt it was working for a bit because she started acting more serious as a business partner, sending me videos to hype me up, send me positive motivational videos. I thought she was really making a 360 for real, and I was proud. I purchased the chairs from OfferUp on a cheap desk, and next, all the Pink Parley needed was the backdrop. Paying for the backdrop was more expensive than she thought. So I came up with a solution. I ran the business idea by my ex, and he paid for the backdrop. We get the backdrop. She did most of the labor. I'm gonna give it to her on that. She did do most of the labor. But once we were done, she must have lit that beautiful hot pink sign with the soft pink rose backdrop, and oof, it was just so beautiful to me. I damn near wanted to cry. My friend just went in her room and lay back down in her bed, back to her old depressed state. But the whole time I was getting up, checking in on the parlay room, sitting down in my chair, pretending my microphone was there, and I was talking, pretending we were airing the show. Like, I was in love and excited to get the rest of the things done. So now that that's out of the way, all we gotta do is get the equipment and do the promo shoot, then boom, we live. I start contacting her about the promo shoot and about the pricing. Silence. Like, not even a text back or anything. This little bitch was clearly ignoring me, because then she would post on IG or be active now. Over 24 hours went by, your IG story is full, but yet we can't even talk about the business. Alright, so maybe she doesn't want to do this shit no more, because this shit isn't easy and it's a lot of hard work that's involved, and she isn't ready for real. Like, she's really not. But it's okay, because I'll never let a bitch ruin my plans. And that's why I'm here today, starting this show off as a podcast, and I'm hoping to eventually find a recording studio so I can show my face to y'all and start a poppin' little YouTube channel that I know y'all will love. Like, I know you'll love it. So please stay tuned with me during this journey, because definitely I have a whole lot more coming for y'all. By the way, this hoe still got my backdrop. I'm threatening to beat her ass and all that. But when my mindset changed, I had to shake that devil and rebuke that hoe. See, remember when I said I thought I can change her with a positive mindset? 24 hours with this bitch, and I realized this shit only works for you if you are spiritual. She's not spiritual. I honestly don't even think she believes in God. So I couldn't even find a light or anything that she cares about that's gonna push her through. And that's when I realized that I can't even help a person that don't even want to help herself. So at this point, if she is hearing this, run me my motherfucking sign back. Or at this point, I'm gonna have the laws come, and I really don't think you want them problems, because don't you got warrants? Yeah. I don't even think you want them problems, because yeah. But I have to go Karen on this bitch, because I'm not letting anything get in the way of the parlay. If I would have put my hands on her, I would have been in jail, and she do call them folks. So yeah, so I'll keep y'all updated on that little situation as these shows go on. What y'all think she gonna do? Give me my backdrop back? Y'all think she gonna try to run over my show? Like, don't y'all think that's some weird ass shit though? Like, do you even think I should let this bitch on the parlay? Like, if this bitch wanna go on the parlay, like, should I let her on? Because I really don't think I should let her ass on. For real. But whatever. At this point, I'm just like, you know what? Fuck that bitch. But, you know, I wish I her the best. I still love her to death. But, like, I wish her the best. Period. So let this all be a learning lesson on how you can't do business with just anyone, especially not a weird bitch. It's easy to get swept up in the excitement of starting a business, but you must take the time to access if you and your partner share the same perspectives and strategies to achieve success. This includes understanding the skills your partner brings to the table and being open to compromise. When me and my friends started the Pink Parley, it was all excitement, even for my partner. I feel what my partner didn't realize is the risk of being an entrepreneur, the money that must be invested in order to make this work. Look, y'all, I spent my last for this show because I knew this show will one day make it, because I'm gonna get up every day and grind and make sure this show makes it. My business partner was more focused on the doubts, the what ifs. What if we don't make it? What if I spend my money on this and I never see that money again? She wouldn't even think it was silly for me to have all these plans, business ventures, visions for us and our show and the boss up what we deserve to have. All she saw was the Today in the Parlay, which was a show no one knew anything about. And she's right. But how the hell do we move forward and strive for success with this business with a mentality like that? It was a vibe killer for me, and it was draining to have to convince her that this is a master plan that can open up so many doors for us. It was a vibe killer for me, and it was draining to have to convince her that this is a master plan that can open up so many doors for us in our lives. What I was hoping my partner would contribute to is handling all the social media accounts. Since she spends her whole life on Instagram, I figure she can manage our social media profiles while I work on the editing. I would tell her to look up videos on YouTube about posting strategies, how to get monetized, and etc. I would even send her the videos just because I wanted to learn social media too. I want to know everything about the business. But do you think she took the time out to look at any of those videos? No. It left me so frustrated. We got into an argument. She told me she didn't know any of the passwords I sent her. And I sent her every last one. And she didn't even care to write it down. And it just made me lose it. Like, my friend simply just doesn't have the skills to be an entrepreneur. She likes the thought of it, but she really can't take the sacrifice, the grind, being all in, and staying down till we hit the come up. See, she lacks these skills, which made me realize I cannot have a business partner like that. Hell, I don't even know if I want a business partner at all at this point. Like, I'm really fed up. Like, I feel like I could just do this on my own. But I'm gonna keep my mindset strong. I'm still welcoming it, okay? Like, but I'm just like, can I even put this show in the hands of a business partner? That takes a lot. So, yeah, it gotta be a real strong business-minded business partner with me on this show. Like, I'm not dealing with no more foolishness, no more. If you want to be on the foolishness, you can still come on the show as a guest star. You are welcome. But if you really want to be a part of this cast, then you got to really be down and be serious about this and be passionate and dedicated. I don't have time for someone that's halfway in and halfway out. Like, no. I don't play like that. So, yeah. It is equally important to understand if your partner has the dedication and ambition to give the business their best. If one or both of you don't have the same rich mind and passion for the business, it is likely that there won't be enough enthusiasm to help your business thrive. Having a business is like birthing a child, and here's this newborn child in this world, and all you want to do is give this child the best so this child could grow to be successful one day. Business is like parenthood. It takes dedication. That is if you want the best success for your business. I'm the parent that was staying up late, studying how to be a better parent, sharpening my skills, preparing myself for all the stages and cycles I would have to endure. And my partner was just a lazy ass trifling parent that didn't give a fuck about little baby parlay. My partner truly didn't give a fuck about the parlay. It wasn't dedicated to all we would have to do in order for the Pink Parley to be successful. All I expected for my partner to do was to answer the phone and the text because it's in regards to the business. And I wanted to meet with her once a week on Sunday so we could plan our business and then eventually start recording on those days. I didn't care what she did any other day as long as she would commit to that one day. She held up for one Sunday, y'all, and couldn't even commit long enough or dedicate herself long enough to make it 2 weeks. Like, isn't that pathetic? Like, dang, I couldn't even get 2 weeks of dedication for you on this Pink Parley. So I'm so over her. Finally, make sure your potential partner has excellent communication skills too. This is especially important with such a complex venture like starting a business, as it requires heavy coordination. Poor communication is a recipe for disaster and could lead to misunderstandings, disagreements, and frustration. Communication is key, especially when you're partnering up with someone on a business plan. And one thing from the jump, my friend ain't never been good with communication. She will ignore your calls, texts, DMs, etc. But then be actively posting stories and memes on IG. Yeah, she's funny acting like that. If she's not in the mood to answer, she's not in the mood to answer. But she did say she will answer for some money. And one thing I do know about my friend, she can get up and get a bag. So I figured this was a flaw that could be fixed quickly. She was doing very well once I explained to her why it's important to communicate and all of that. She did her shit for a good week. I'm gonna give her that. But then of course, I'm ready to book the promo shoot. I'm telling her the budget and she went quiet. And I haven't heard from her since. Honestly, I'm happy I didn't invest so much more money into this. Into the merch, custom branding, clothing, for the marketing, because it would have been a huge loss for me, and we was for sure gonna have to get down for her playing with my money like that. I'm a little hood, but I'm trying to be more spiritual now.
Punch her in the cooter, I don't give
I'm
a
just
damn.
happy she showed her true colors and exactly why she is not even fit to be a business partner, at least not with me. In conclusion, be sure to choose a business partner who shares your vision, has the right skills for the role, and completely dedicated to the cause at hand. This will help ensure both of you are on the same page and have a successful partnership. So let this be a lesson on how you have to be careful when choosing the right partner. Honestly, if it wasn't for the mindset I have today, the old me would have thrown this whole parlay away, would have let the hurt and the frustration make me give up my dreams of being a podcaster. So imagine how many businesses don't even start up, let alone do well, just because their partner isn't ideal. So yeah, that's a food for thought. So if you're thinking about being an entrepreneur or partner up, just please really look deep into your partner. Does this partner dedicated? Does this partner sleep in late and lazy and maybe has a drug, alcohol problem? Like, this might be your people's, but they might not be the best business partner. Sometimes you just leave friends as friends. As much as you want to do something with your friend and elevate with your friend and win with your friend, if your friend don't want to win, then baby, it's time to drop that friend. Hallelujah. Change is one of the most difficult things a person can go through. Our minds are so accustomed to routines and patterns that any deviation from what we're used to can seem overwhelming and distressing. Whether it's like a job change, an unexpected move, or any other type of disruption, it can be difficult to adjust to the changes and continue on with the new chapter in your life. When I first began my process of change, I had just got my realtor license and I was ready for the new career and a new life. I realized very quickly that me, who at the time had absolutely no true set routine, was a heavy daily drinker, woke up most mornings with hangovers that made me want to die. I would literally lay in my bed all day when my hangovers were at their worst. So do you think I could imagine myself living like the typical successful realtor that wakes up at 5 a.m., sometimes even as early as 3 a.m.? I mean, the most successful people start their days off early. The early bird gets the worm. It all makes sense, right? Yeah, I couldn't find it in me to bounce up out of the bed, mainly because I wasn't taking care of myself. My body was deteriorating quickly from the excessive drinking and the self-damaging lifestyle I have been living for almost a decade now. But I was tired of feeling like crap every morning, or just living through life, having this dissatisfaction for how I was living my life. I wasn't living to my fullest potential, which is where most of my depression came from itself. It was the dissatisfaction I had in myself because I knew I was better. I could live better and I could be better. I had already started this process of being better by moving out of LA and moving to Marietta, which is a nice, quiet, family-oriented neighborhood about 2 hours away from LA. I distanced myself from all my partying friends, and I just passed my real estate exam. Like, I was excited for a new lifestyle and a change once and for all. I started by waking up early. If I'm going to be successful, I'm going to wake my ass up at 5 a.m. That's what I thought to myself. 5 a.m. the next morning, that alarm went off. Baby, that sky was black and I was tired. I said, you know what? I'll take my ass back to bed. But when I woke up, I said, maybe I need to be a little more realistic on my wake up time. I'm going to try 7 a.m. That's a better time for me. I also figured my diet is in no means balanced, and I figured maybe I need some supplements and multivitamins to get me back on my shit. I kid you not. I don't know if it was the vitamins I took, but for the first time in my life, I was able to get up and I felt good. Like, that's when I realized my health is my wealth, and that I was probably malnourished and unhealthy, which was hindering me from being successful. Every day I continued to take vitamins and started waking up at 7. Now I'm waking up at 5 a.m. and I wake up sometimes even before that. But I realized the earlier I start my days before anyone else, the quicker I get to the worm. That bad. $1 billion! Fortunately, there are steps you can take to make the transition smoother. If you've experienced change in the past, you'll know how to approach it with a greater degree of understanding. For those who haven't had much experience with change, the process can be intimidating. It can be hard to understand how and why things are changing. In addition to the actual physical act of transitioning from one situation to another, the important thing is to take it one step at a time. Focus on what you can control and gradually become more comfortable with the changes that life throws your way. I remember when I first started my process of change, the waking up early every morning, starting my day off, listening to motivational podcasts and speeches, and becoming routine. All of this was a change for me, and it was difficult. I never cried so much in my damn life, yet I was the happiest I've ever been. As I continued this pattern day by day, my life began to change significantly. I remember my first morning saying my affirmations. It was hard for me to even say my affirmations with meaning. I would be like, I am great. And my brain was programmed to be so damn negative. My mind would respond like, no, I'm not. But I continued to say every last affirmation with as much meaning as I possibly could. And in just a few days, I was saying my affirmations with so much belief, I would get chills through my body and even break down in tears. Tears because of the passion I have. Tears knowing this journey isn't easy. Tears thinking of all the obstacles, disappointments, struggles I've endured, and how I was no longer going to let anything I've been through stop me. In fact, it's what has made me strong today. I have endured a lot, but I am a fighter and I am undefeatable. I will never let myself believe that I cannot do something ever again. It's important to reach out for help if needed. Change is an incredibly difficult thing to go through alone. Whether it's from a therapist, mentor, or a friend, having someone who can listen and offer guidance can make the process much easier to manage. Statistics show that change is one of the greatest risk factors for suicide. It's understandable why this is our routine and our familiarity is comfortable to us. So when you start switching up the program and what you're used to, it could be extremely overwhelming. This is why it's important to remember that you aren't alone in this and that help is available. No matter what kind of change you're going through, take comfort in knowing it's temporary. Change won't always be this hard, and you will reach a place where you feel comfortable and at ease again. You just gotta keep your faith high and welcome and embrace the new chapter of change in your life, because more than likely you are in this change for the better, and don't ever let the devil or life distractions block you from that vision. I remember exactly a year ago, I went through a huge and humbling change. I went from being that bitch to being a broke bitch very quickly. And it was sad to experience. With everything and the inflation, prices went up and my hustle was slowing down. The more prices went up, the less I was able to profit. In desperation, I moved out my apartment to take a construction job in the Bay Area, broke my lease, paid about $5,000 just to move, had this janky ass moving company rip me off by charging me outrageous prices for money I barely even had. So they took over 75% of my furniture and damaged the 25% they left me with. Everything I worked so hard for was gone. I felt my life was over. I couldn't handle the humiliation of even asking for help. I couldn't deal with the fact that I'm back at square one at my lowest point in life, being homeless again. I've had my own for so long. If anything, I was the one always being asked for money. It's one thing if you work a job and you're broke, but when you're in sex work and you're broke, that's the most embarrassing shit ever. Like, what? Yo, coochie ain't selling no more? Like, I could not even deal with this. I had less than $3,000 in the bank, not even enough to get my own apartment in LA. So you know what my crazy ass wanted to do? I wanted to kill myself. I was planning the whole thing out. I was going to write a letter to my family and my son. I was going to pull out the crumbs of cash I had in the bank, and I was going to drive somewhere off in the middle of nowhere, up by them little canyons in Marietta, and I was going to kill myself, hoping eventually I'll be found and left there be my dead body in a Benz with a note and the cash, and that's it. My life will be over just because I don't want to accept the fact that I was becoming broke, and maybe it's time for me to find another hustle. I'm so happy I decided to stay here, y'all. That one of my friends called me and realized as quickly I was tripping. If anyone out there is feeling like that and you feel you have no one to talk to, you can always reach out to me. You can reach out to me on my email at bookings@thepinkparley.com. If I can help you build your mindset up, I know everything gonna be all right for you, queen or king. My mindset is so strong now that I ain't like that no more. And yes, I'm still a little broke, but I have a millionaire mindset now, and I take action every day to make sure I can reach my fullest wealth and potential. When I had money in the bank, my mindset was fucked up. I wasn't happy, I wasn't healthy, and I had a drinking problem. So when people say money doesn't buy happiness, what I'd rather say is money doesn't buy a strong mindset. Having money and a strong mindset, you for sure gonna be happy, because your life is gonna be filled with abundance. The people around you are gonna be beneficial to your life and spread positivity to you. And you take better care of yourself when your mindset is right. And those are all things that lead to happiness. Today, we discussed how we must be careful with who we choose to do business with, and that's having a strong mindset is vital to success. Change is always difficult, but with faith and a positive attitude, we will always get through. It is important to remember that regardless of the obstacles we face, we must remain confident in our abilities and not let anything stand in our way. Keeping our heads high, even in the hardest of times, will be crucial to reaching our goals. We should also keep in mind that no matter how hard it may seem, we have the power to change our situation and build something better. It is never too late to start new and strive for greatness. True success requires a strong mind, unwavering faith, and a commitment to always strive for the best. In conclusion, we should always stay focused on our goals and never settle for less. With change comes opportunity and the potential for something great. No matter how difficult it may be, keep your head up and never give up. With faith and determination, you will always succeed. Thanks for listening to today's podcast, and I hope it provided you with something valuable.